For this video, I will describe how the contextual interference effect relates to organizing variable practice. So contextual interference is memory and perform disruption that results from performing variations of a skill within the context of practice. In other words, contextual interference is when you interrupt the learning process of one skill to learn or practice another skill. There is high and low contextual interference. High contextual interference is practicing different skills during a session and they are performed in random order. Let's take baseball, for example. You will practice hitting, fielding, and catching in 2 hours, and every 20 minutes you change the skill randomly. So hitting, catching, fielding, catching, hitting, fielding in those 2 hours. Low contextual interference is when the organization of the skills being performed are performing in their own block time. So let's say in those same 2 hours, you practice for 40 minutes fielding, 40 minutes for hitting, and 40 minutes for catching every time you practice. What the contextual interference effect says is learning benefits that result from high contextual interference practice schedule is having better learning result than low contextual interference schedule. Real life situation dictates that for baseball, as an example, practicing a variation of skills in one session, such as hitting, catching, and fielding, will lead to better long-term retention and transfer if they are done randomly, even though they will not perform as well during the learning process than if the skills were done together in set periods of time. Here are 2 reasons for the contextual interference. The first reason is because of the elaboration hypothesis, which is when you have to change tasks frequently, you will hold more elaborate details of the practiced skills. The second reason for the contextual interference effect is the action plan reconstruction hypothesis. When you are relearning the movement and forgetting and relearning and forgetting and relearning and repeating, causing better learning outcomes. These 2 hypotheses have 3 things in common. The high contextual interference requires greater attention demands. They lead and encourage people to make errors so they learn more. And the block schedule can lead to metacognition, which is the overestimation of how well they are performing.